Social media is the devil, man.
Everything is sensationalized.
Everything it is. I tell her all the time. I'm like, fuck, what the hell? What is going on here? It's like
everything goes viral.
Everything goes viral, and then it's one video, and then it's one negative thing after another, and then people feed off of that. It's like no one wants to watch a video of like puppies and kittens, right? No one gives a fuck about that. But if someone shoots another person, or if someone's stabbing another person, the shit goes viral, and it's like, oh, look at this, and it gets sent.
Trauma porn.
Yeah, and it gets sent to this person, and all of a sudden there's like millions of views, and it's like, why? Like, why are we? You know what I mean? Like, I think if we have this platform, I think it should be used positively in a more different sort of way, as opposed to just focusing on so much negativity and so much violence. You know what I mean? We all know that shit happens. We all know that violent things happen on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? What we don't see enough of is like positive things happening, things that are happening in the community that makes a difference. There's so many people in the community that they're doing such great things, and no one knows about it because no one is filming it, and it's not, and no one's putting it on YouTube, and no one's putting it on Instagram because no one fucking cares, because what they care about is, you know, homie over here talking about, you know, so and so, and there's beef with this one, there's beef with that one, and you know, and all this, you know, like gruesome, like violence and stuff like that, and that's what people want. That's what people want to see, and then that's what's being shown, and
it's like shock value, like the news. That's all they show is just shock value, like to scare people, and it's frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
It's the hardest thing, you know. You try to be positive the entire life, but you know, you're surrounded by negative. So how is that? You know, everyone, if you ever ask them that question, you know, do you want your glass half empty or half full? Everyone will always say half full. But in reality, all those people are always looking at life with a half empty perspective. Exactly. So it's just like, how do you change that? It's easier for you to do. It's easier for you to do because you're always in that environment. Right. But for someone who's doing something a little bit more like, you know, less like aggressive or just not aggressive, or less, you're seeing like life, like death every single day. It's just like easier for them to just like, you know, to take a step back and look at it from like, yeah, this, you know, like have a perspective where they're like just easily being very judgy without looking at both sides of the story.
Yeah. It all comes down to perspective though.
Always about perspective.
They have like police officers, and I can't speak for them, but it's snowing. Sorry, guys.
Oh my God, it's snowing, by the way.
Y'all going hiking in the snow.
All right, so you heard it here. We're going hiking in the snow.
Sorry, that just like really distracted me. But I was saying like police officers have their own perspective. Civilians and like us as like in the community have our own perspective of what they do, what they don't do, what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. But then also like everything is about perspective. Like even when COVID first hit, I was working in the neonatal ICU. I felt so far removed. I work in a hospital.
Yeah.
I work in a hospital a few floors away from where there were COVID patients. And this is like, I'm talking about March of 2020, the beginning. I felt so far removed working in the neonatal ICU because we didn't really have COVID patients in our NICU right away. We eventually had like a bunch of babies that we thought were COVID positive, or like were born from a COVID positive mom, so forth. But I felt so far, I'm just saying, like, I felt so far removed and I was that close. So I can only imagine people in the community, how far removed they felt, or like people in the Midwest where they weren't seeing what was happening in New York, and how we had trailers of bodies lining, like building up, lining up outside of our hospitals. Like if I felt so far removed and I saw I walk past the trailers every day when going to my car full of dead people, like how would somebody in Minnesota feel when, like how more removed would they feel, or were they feeling at the time? So like it goes back to perspective, because there were so many, all those people like COVID isn't real.
Yeah,
people still to this day think that it's a hoax. Like I drive by a sign every day on the FDR that says COVID is a hoax. Huge. And I'm just like, how do you really think that? But it's all about perspective, because they're just so far removed. We in the community are just so far removed from, like, I feel like, or in communities where like where violence doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
The Upper East Side is completely far removed from what happens in the Bronx.
And we can tie it to perspective even, and then turn it back to going back to social media, right? Because then they'll go and they'll scroll, and that's even all they're seeing. Like they don't even have a chance to even get the other side of the story, because they don't have the chance to see it at all.
When did that clip start?
Yeah, Exactly.
When did that clip
100%,
start? From what angle is that? Like, what is their angle? You know, like something's happening in a shooting or something. Like, okay, so, and I'm not saying this about all the videos that have gone viral and all the things that have happened in the past couple of years, but like, what happened before the clip turned to the cop shooting or whatever, like, or somebody fighting or anything like that? Like, I don't know, a car driving off a bridge. Like, what happened before that? Everything is about perspective. Like, I just feel like people don't really understand that, and they don't want to understand that because they don't really care about other people's perspective, because it's so easy to look through your own lens. I can't see what life is like from John's eyes right now. I just can't. Yeah. It's not possible. Can I try? I can, but that's because I'm willing to do that. Other people are not willing to do that.
Exactly.
And I feel like that is a huge problem, especially when it comes to the community and police officers, or just law enforcement in general.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. Please hit the like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're also available on all audio streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, all the above. We just want to support you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.